So could you introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been involved with real estate?
Okay, I'm Jerry Gladish, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I got my license in 1966. So I've been at it for 55 years.
All right. How long have you been an exchanger?
I'm a charter member of our local group. I think we started in 1972.
All right, so a long time.
Long time.
Long enough. In your words, what's kind of the difference between exchanging or equity marketing and more conventional brokerage?
Well, I've done houses for many years and strictly cash to loan or refinance. And the exchanging sessions have just opened up a whole different world. And I don't do houses anymore, my daughter does. But just more involved, more exciting. You have to be more creative. And this group, I got to tell you, is just phenomenal. They are so happy to help and solve problems and just be their friends. And general real estate or houses in general, it's kind of cutthroat. This is not.
Okay. What are some of, let's say, other than the creativity from the broker's perspective, so let's say a client's perspective, what are some of the benefits of exchanging?
Solving problems. That's the big benefit. We look at more than just buy and sell. We look at exchanging. We look at ways to solve problems that normally can't be solved.
Okay, so like if someone has a listing that they inherited that's hard to sell, what are some of the things that could be done?
Well, first you do is talk to the owners and find out what can be done, what they're willing to accept to get the property sold or get it out of their hands. Trading maybe they're trading their problem for somebody else's problem. That they're trading problems that they can't solve for problems that they can solve.
Why is counseling important?
It's the most important part because finally we know what they want to do with what they have, where they want to go, what they want to accomplish, and it's not just a cut and dry black and white. It opens up a whole vista of opportunities.
When you started counseling, even if that was at the beginning, your clients, do you feel like you established better relationships with them?
That's the first thing you have to do, establish a relationship. If they don't trust you, then they won't pay attention to you. You have to, first you have to be honest to start with, and build integrity and honesty, and you don't lie to people. You don't promise things that you can't accomplish, and you don't put them into something that's going to hurt them more than help them. You're not just looking for a commission. You're looking for that relationship. At the end of the day, you want to be able to look in the mirror and be proud of that guy that's looking back at you.
And are you proud?
Yes, I am. Here's a small one. I sold a fourplex to a gentleman one time, and I told him, do not tell. He wanted to live in it, and I told him, please don't tell the tenants that you own it, and because they'll drive you nuts. And just tell them that you're the manager or you're the maintenance man. Well, he decided to play big shot and tell them that he owned it, and they drove him nuts. And he ended up calling me one night about 10 o'clock at night, and he says, Jerry, get me out of this place. I'm fixing to kill somebody. And so I ran over there, and there he stood a two-story. There he stood on the balcony in his shorts with a shotgun. And so I traded him right away. I traded him into a piece of vacant land that he didn't have tenants, and he liked that. Some people have the aptitude for management, and some people don't.
What are different sorts of benefits? So in that situation, you can have a benefit of wanting tenants or not wanting tenants, right? So what other benefits are there?
Well, there's always the tax benefits. The benefits of delayed taxes. That's what the 1031 exchange is all about. And trading equities. Oftentimes somebody wants a smaller piece of property, they want less management, or they want partial cash, or they want bigger properties. And so rather than just selling their property and buying something else, which is kind of nice to do, they can trade their property and trade it into either bigger or smaller, and they would delay the taxes on it. And so that's one of the problems. That's one of the benefits that we can provide to people. And just people's needs and wants change constantly, and I'm working on something right now. A man that has inherited an auto body repair shop from his father. He and his sister inherited this about 4 years ago. He's operating the body shop, he's running it, and his sister lives in Phoenix. He's talked to me about doing something with it. He really doesn't want to run the auto shop, but he knows that if he closes it, that he loses a lot of the equity. So I've found another gentleman that has a house in Phoenix that wants an investment property. And so we're working right now on trading his house in Phoenix for part of this property, or for the down payment on this property. And the lady in Phoenix should be real happy with it, without paying a lot of inheritance tax or taxes on the property. So that's one of the benefits. That's one of the things that can happen.
Awesome. I'm sorry.
I've bought and sold a lot of property over the last 50 years, and a good portion of it, in fact most of it, has been through the exchangers. I've bought a lot of property from people in that room, and the people in that room have sold properties for me, or traded them. We've traded properties. I traded about 15 years ago. I traded a mobile home lot in Sandoval County. No, it was in Valencia County. I had a mobile home lot down there, and I traded it in on a piece of property in Placitas, which is 20 miles north of us. And so, that's the kind of things happens all the time.
Have you ever taken anything other than cash as a commission?
Yes,
Can
I've
you
taken. I took a horse one time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I took a horse, and it's the only horse I ever owned. Traded part of I sold some property over in Mountain Air one time, and I've got a fixation for Jeeps. I love Jeeps, and he had an old FC-170, which was a 3/4 ton Jeep, forward control cab over, and it had been sitting on his property for several years, and I took that for part of my commission.
Awesome.
And taking took a boat one time for my commission, and car once in a while. But
Do you feel that the group of exchangers are inviting or welcoming?
yes, very much so. We've had our ups and downs. Sometimes I've been with them for many years, and we've gotten during good times. The exchanger group actually drops in membership down to maybe 20, 25 people, and 15 of them will show up. And then whenever times get a little rougher, then brokers start looking for more and better ways to actually make a living. And so then they come to exchangers, some of them out of desperation, some of them out of the need for knowledge. And one thing about us is that just like a while ago, I found out about a big project that's going to be started down around Socorro. And I've had an interest in Socorro for some time, but I've never bought any property down there, so I think I will go down and buy some. About 6 months ago, I was at Exchangers and found out about a big project that's going to go on in Grants. Grants has been pretty well dead for the last 25 years. I have a couple of pieces of property in Grants that I've had for a long time, and all of a sudden there's going to be a $50 million project in Grants, and so we just learn about properties that we wouldn't know about otherwise.
Coming to these meetings might help them make it through, say, the next financial crisis.
Very possibly it would. A broker that's just sold houses, they'll come to our meeting and they'll be totally lost. They have no idea that this type of real estate sales is viable. They sometimes are intimidated by us. We try not to be intimidating, but because we want them to come and enjoy themselves and join. First two meetings are free, and but we encourage other brokers to come join us, and just like our president, Erica, she's had her license for 4 years. She came in 4 years ago. One of the first things she did when she got her license was come to an exchangers meeting, and she was completely in the dark about it. She had no idea what we were doing, but she had enough sense to come to another meeting, and then 4 years later, she's our president of our group, and we do a lot of selling and exchanging between the group, between us, and so that's one reason we do it, because we trust each other.
And also because you guys understand it.
We understand, and it's a constant learning experience. We never know it all. Just about the time we think we know everything, then somebody like, I don't want to mention him, but they'll come in and they'll teach you something else, and it's a constant learning experience, and we just have a lot of fun at it, and we make money at it. And I've bought so much property through the exchangers, and not just bought, but I've sold, property through it, and just a really neat group of people.
All right, I have one more question. Do you like your job?
No, I don't have a job. I've never had a job. A job is something you go to, that you have to go to, and I don't have to go to this. It's more like a circus in there than anything else. It's just something that I enjoy. I get every morning when I get up, I think about it, and I don't have to. I do it because I enjoy it, and so I don't consider it a job. I just consider it a neat, wonderful way to make a living.